Hello friends, I feel like spring is in the air. Some days this week it's really been warm and I've not felt so much need to have the heating on, which is just lovely. I love those dark cozy days, but I must say this month has been a bit of a slog and I'm quite glad that spring seems to be in the air. In this week, I'm pretty busy. I don't know if this will be a proper length video. Maybe it will. I often say that and then it actually is a proper length video. I think I'm going to do a little bit of egg decorating for Easter. And tonight I have ordered a to-go bag from Aldi. So we'll see what I get tonight in my groceries bag. It was £3.30. So let's see, what we get. And yeah, decorating for Easter, the to-go bag. And I have a couple of other projects I'd like to do. One of them is my front door, which I'll show you shortly. It's looking rather dark and kind of not my taste. And I'm thinking I've got some lilac paint that was left over from doing my fireplace. I'm thinking I might paint that door lilac and, I'm not saying it's going to be lilac forever. It's just, I might just do that now. The other decor in my hallway I really like, but just that door is a bit dark. Anyway, sorry, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Kate Sanderson. I'm an actor. I usually appear in indie horror movies, though I do other things as well. I'm trying to get this YouTube channel started, and about a year ago I moved to this house in Essex and I've been trying to do it up. I don't have a lot of money, but I am finding that I'm gradually getting it to look the way I want, which is just really, really nice. In last autumn, I did a couple of videos about the Witchfinders Trail in Manningtree and Mistley, and those are starting to get a few more views, which is really nice. And people have given me some lovely comments. I must say that if you leave a comment, I so appreciate every comment. YouTube is such a huge thing, and it's very difficult to get any attention on your channel, which doesn't mean that I'm not going to persevere with it, because I really enjoy it. And it really it kind of holds you accountable if every week you have to do a video. So that's great. So hopefully this will be a nice vlog. I'll do some cooking out of the things that I get from my Aldi Go bag, and let's get on with the day. Well, friends, what you see before you is my front door, well, the inner door, and it's a dark grey colour. If I come up a bit closer, thankfully the sun's shining. It's beautiful. When the lock was changed, the locksmith left this big patch of plaster, and then there's a door plate here, which, oh, we can hardly see it. Let's see. Trust me, this is a door plate which I think was brass, but I don't think it's been polished for many, many years. And again, it's one of the myriad of tasks that I need to do in this house. And I think what I'm going to do is, I have some lilac paint left over from my mantelpiece, and I'm just going to I'm going to paint this dark grey door over the next few days with that lilac paint, because I think that will tone in with the stained glass, and I feel that will be a lot sort of lighter looking. Grey is a nice colour, but I feel that's a bit kind of gloomy. So I think over the next few days I'll get out some masking tape and some brushes, and I will get to work with my paint, and that'll be good. Oh, there's my angel book. I'm behind with my weeks. I try to move that forward every time I have it's a new week, because it's a weekly thing. Oh well, I'll stop going on. What I have found in my cupboard is a tin of Brasso. So I think now I'm going to try and see if I can get some of the tarnish off that door plate, and we'll see how it looks. You can't actually see very well because the sun's so bright, but I'll have a little go and we'll see what happens. Okay, there's not any immediate change. I'll maybe come back. Come back in a minute or two. Well, that's disappointing. I guess this is not a brass door plate because it's not getting any twinklier. I'll do a little research, but I think it should be a bit brighter than this. Okay. Okay guys, well here is what I got for my £3.30 Aldi To Go bag. I've got what looks like about 12 packets of these things called Cheezios, which I think must be the Aldi version of Cheez-Its or something. And then I've got 3 packets of Quavers. Takes me back to being at school. I'm sure they sold Quavers there. Then I have this sweet onion and sweet potato bhaji salad, which is great. I'll have that for lunch tomorrow. I've got 2 of these little cookies called Knoppers. 3 packets of sugar snap peas. I'm going to have to look up sugar snap pea recipes because I very rarely have sugar snap peas, which is maybe why they've been left over. Then I've got, let's see, three cans of 0 sugar Coke and 1 classic Coke. I've got a little bottle of mineral water, a kind of a sports drink, I guess like Lucozade or something. I've got 2 packets of this milk chocolate cereal, which I would never have bought because, you know, I regard breakfast as a time to be healthy and have muesli. However, I guess eventually I will eat it probably. And then I've got some baby leaf salad, which is great. Again, I shall have that tomorrow. Then I've got a packet of sandwich rolls and then kind of finger rolls, hot dog rolls, and then a thing of toasty bread. And lastly, I've got 3 big bottles of water. I think the last Aldi To Go bag I got more vegetables, which I was able to use for soup. But still, it's definitely not bad, and it will all eventually get eaten. I tend to have crisps, maybe if I'm going to London for the day and I'm wanting a few snacks in my bag. I don't really eat crisps a huge amount, but, you know, I'll just put them away and I'm sure they will get eaten eventually. So I would say Aldi give you a generous amount of food, but it's a bit patchy, maybe. I would have liked a bit more main stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. They don't guarantee. And it's certainly very, very good value for £3.30. I mean, I can keep these sodas for summer because I don't drink a lot of soda. But occasionally on a very hot day, it's nice to have a soda. So there you go. I will... Yes, I just ran out of space again. It was quite difficult, although I took my trolley with me to balancing everything into it. But I did, and yeah, this is good. So I'll try and find a sugar snap pea recipe and show you what I made, because I've got to use up these sugar snap peas, but I don't know, would they go in soup or something? I shall have to find out. Okay. Hi friends, this witch's brew that you see bubbling away here is my soup that I've made with my Aldi Go Bag sugar snap peas. I found you can make onion and sugar snap pea soup, which is very good. I would have never bought these sugar snap peas or made this soup, so that's really interesting. I'm not going to blend it tonight. I was naughty and had toasted sandwiches and salad for dinner because I was a bit tired. So I will blend this tomorrow and I will have it for lunch and I will show you what it's like and how it tastes. So yeah, a bit of a success, hopefully. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's also Flea Day. It's the 1st of March, and apparently this is the day you should keep your doors and windows shut because this is the day that fleas can invade your house. And in the past, people would keep their doors and windows really shut today because of flea migration. Apparently now, because of central heating, fleas are just a problem all the year round. But I think today I will keep my doors and windows shut just because, why not? It's Flea Day. I got all my groceries in yesterday that I needed for myself and Cookie, my cat. And behind me today, what I'm going to do next is this, my door. I'm going to paint it. If I step aside, you can see here, but not so easily there, I've put the masking tape around the bits I don't want to get covered with paint. And I'm going to be painting this bit lilac, the grey door lilac. And I think that's going to look a lot lighter and brighter. And it's going to sort of tone in with this stained glass more than the grey has. I must say, I really like the way the previous owners decorated the whole area. I think it's very light and bright, but the grey I'm not so keen on. So I will now get out some of my lilac paint and put on a first coat. And yeah, that's it. It's not terribly interesting, but it's going to make a big difference to me. So let's have a go. So here we go. Got quite a small brush. I'm just going to gently put on this kind of, to me, rather angelic looking lilac paint. Yeah, as I said, it was left over from doing my fireplace. Yeah, I think that will look better than the, it's not the same shade of purple, which would have been ideal, but I really can't afford to buy more paint at the moment. So just maybe for the next year or so, we'll stick with this. So I'm going to get on with painting that now, and I will come back to you when I finish my first coat. I can't talk today. Okay. Well, friends, I've now put one coat of paint onto the door, and I must say I am liking that much better than the grey. If I close in, the paint coverage is kind of shadowy. It definitely needs another coat, if not another 2 coats. And apparently in 4 hours time, I can apply another coat, and then I have to leave it for a complete 4 hours, before it's kind of dry. So I'll do another coat in 4 hours and show you how it's looking. But I mean, I must say I've enjoyed this painting. I enjoy painting. If I was ever going to be a tradesman, I'd have been a painter rather than an electrician or anything. I think this will look a lot better. Maybe I'll need to do some touch-ups when I take off the masking tape. But however, that's great. And I will now go and do something else. Okay. Hi again, friends. It's a bit later. Well, I am standing in front of my mantelpiece in my front room, which had up this kind of snowy picture for Christmas. And of course, the cold weather's gone on, and I felt it was quite nice and cozy to have this picture up. But I think now I'm going to try and change around this mantelpiece to be a little bit more Eastery. I don't know if I'm going to have a painting up at the moment. I might hang something else up there. I'm not sure. I might put up a picture. All these choices. So now I'll just take away these items here. Oh, I've had my first Easter card from family, which is just really lovely. So I will be having this on the mantelpiece, but everything else is, I don't know yet. I'm just going to get my Easter stuff down and have a little fiddle around. Okay, back in a minute. Well, that box has got quite dusty. This is one box of my Easter decorations. And I'm a great one for knitting these little bags to store my decorations in. I really don't like to use plastic bags. And I've got no idea. I can't actually remember what I have in these. Let me try and open one. Ooh. Things like little bowls of eggs won't really go on the mantelpiece because you won't see them. Oh, okay. Here I have. Oops. Just a little chick lady. Well, that's cute. I mean, I must say I would normally try and have something a little bit posher on the mantelpiece, but I'm still at 6s and 7s, so this may end up going on my mantelpiece. She's very cute. Anyway, I will unpack some more things and have a little look round. This is the mantelpiece now. I see I've put up this really horrible hook to put that picture up with at Christmas time. So something will have to be hung up there to cover it up. Whether it's a picture or just something hanging up, I don't know. But there we go. It's not a thing of beauty. As a quick start, I'm going to put some daffodils at one side and then some roses at the other. These are the roses from Picnic at Hanging Rock Day. They've lasted quite well, so I've just cut them down and put them into this nice window little picture frame vase. First time I've used that in this house, so now what to put in the middle. So here now, I've put a few little ornaments up. I've put a few of the big eggs that I've in the past like decoupaged and painted. They're quite sweet. It's needing a lot more. Okay, keep going. Hello again, friends. I've now put up my Auntie Anne's print without asking her permission on the mantelpiece just for Easter. She still hasn't come to get it. So I hope she doesn't mind. Sorry, Auntie Anne, it is your print. I'm just maybe trying it out here on the mantelpiece for Easter. Hi again, friends. So I think for the time being, I'm kind of done with my decor for this mantelpiece. I think next week I'll try and do some more incidental Easter decor and other bits of the house. I'll go up and just give you a little bit of a closer look at what I've done. So here, beside my daffodils, I've got a little candle holder in blue that I think just came from Poundland a few years ago. I think they did other colours. I wish I'd got those now as well. And then here's a little China bunny that I got in a cracker once. That was a good cracker present. Okay, and another Poundland egg, I think, and some Poundland trolls. And then there's a Victorian picture book that I just thought was quite sweet here. Ring of Roses, Pictures and Stories for Little Folks. And just a little candle going for Easter. And I've got my family's card that they sent me and a little basket there, which should have candy in it. I will get some candy. I remember I got this at the Bentall Centre in Kingston. I was once there for work and it was around Easter, and I got 2 of those, and one of them got broken, unfortunately, but I've still got one. So hello, Bentall Centre. And then there is another little gnome, and then these eggs I decoupaged. This one here I decoupaged with some stickers of teddies. And so that I really like that. I mean, it's got nothing to do with Easter. It's just a cute design for an egg, but it is an egg because of Easter. And then here's just a stone egg I once got in a gift shop, which I just think is very pretty. I've got other eggs, but I will bring those out next week maybe. Here we have a little duckling that I got in Harrods last year as a great splurge. I mean, I wouldn't have that kind of money at the moment. But he's very cute, and he's just sitting here on the mantelpiece, and I do appreciate him. So thank you very much, Harrods. And then I have another Victorian picture book called Tales That Are True for Brown Eyes and Blue, which I thought was rather sweet. And then I've got my roses from Picnic at Hanging Rock Day. And I have here a candle. I think my sister gave this to me many years ago. It's very elegant. I'm never going to burn it, but it's just of a little Easter bunny. And one final, not very tasteful sort of troll or elf or something. So there we go. I've put here on the centre of the mantelpiece, I've got a little sort of heart decoration. I have a feeling my sister bought me that too. And then here on top of the radiator, which I can't normally have them here, but I don't have it on so much at the moment, is a couple of little bunnies. This radiator, you can't put things on top there, but I'm just putting them on there for a moment. They'll go somewhere else. So let me come back and show you better. Yes, here we are. My mantelpiece is transformed. I'll try and move out the way a little bit. Yeah, it's just I must say I'm happier with this than I was last year. I think one of the first videos I ever did in this house was me celebrating Easter in this house shortly after I'd moved in, and I was in an absolute mess. And now I'm still in a mess, but it's better. I mean, this mantelpiece was grey. Funnily enough, that door was grey, and now I've painted the door lilac in this same lilac colour that I've got here. So that's good. That suits me a lot better. It's much more me, and I'm happy to have these bits and pieces up. And shouldn't be borrowing my aunt's picture, but there you go. If she wants it back, she can have it, and I'll just put something else up. I don't think she'll mind. I don't know why I'm making a big thing of it. Anyway, so I used to only put up my Easter decor about 2 weeks before Easter, or so that in the end, if I had it up like for a week after Easter, it wasn't very long. So I'm actually quite glad to have put something up quite early, because I think it's really nice. And my mum's dead now, so I can't really do Mother's Day. But I'll tell you, one thing I'm happy about is that when my mum was alive, I always did the best Mother's Day for her that I could, and I would get her nice flowers and gifts, as you should. But I'm just happy that I did that now. So with Mother's Day coming up, all I would say to anyone watching is, if you have a mum or a grandma or someone that you regard as a mum, do spoil them and do get them some flowers and chocolates and some presents that you think they'd like, because they're not here forever, and just appreciate them while they're there. And then you can look back on that and the nice photographs and think, you know, I did appreciate my mum when she was there, and I'm really glad I did. So that's a bit solemn thing to end up on. I must say, this is not in any way a religious Easter mantelpiece. I think I will have some more sober decor somewhere else, really, because obviously it is a religious occasion, you know, and the happiest day in the Christian year. This is more seasonal. I mean, apparently when the Christianity came to the UK, there was a pagan goddess of fertility called, I think, Eastre. And the name Easter was taken after this goddess, and the pagans would have a festival at the same time as we celebrate Easter for Christianity. So the two things slightly merged. Of course, I mean, it's nice to think about spring and to be grateful for fertility coming back, and it's, in a way, it's like two concurrent things. There's the Christian Easter, there's just the happiness that life's coming back and that the seasons are changing and stuff, and there's that aspect of Easter and that time of year as well. So I'm going to try and cover both. But anyway, this is my mantelpiece, and I'm sorry the light's so murky in here. If there's nice sunshine before the end of this vlog, I'll try and take another picture of it. Okay, onwards. Right, now, earlier in the video I showed you my Aldi To Go Bag haul that I got, and I showed you that I got 2 boxes of this Harvest Morn Craze cereal, which is a chocolate cereal. And I was a bit disappointed because although I have a very sweet tooth, I really do not think you should have chocolate for breakfast. Sorry about the washing machine, it's just a bit noisy there. But I've discovered via Google that you can make cookies out of chocolate cereal. Some of them you don't even have to bake. I will also say that I actually ate a few of these Craze cereal chunks, and they're actually quite pleasant as a snack. If you were going out walking or you were going to London for the day or wherever, you could have a bag of this in a, with you, and you could just munch on it. I mean, whether you should be eating chocolate cereal or making chocolate cookies is another matter. However, I thought I would try and just put together some of these cookies. You just melt them up in a saucepan on the stove, and then put them onto parchment paper and let them chill in the fridge. There's no actual baking involved. I might do a baking version next week, but right now I'm just going to be mixing these up together, and I'll let you see what it all looks like. So, fingers and everything crossed. Craze cereal. I hope I'm going to be crazy about you. So here we go. I've got some of the Craze cereal, which I'm actually going to blend up in my Magimix. Here we are, and I've also got some just Everyday Essentials milk chocolate from Aldi. I have to say I found this is just as nice as Cadbury's, and it's much cheaper. And then I've got some Tesco crunchy peanut butter and some little Smarty eggs to decorate with. So I hope those are going to be cute. I really wanted the dairy milk eggs because they're in pastel colours, but there was none. I think everyone else got there ahead of me. So I'm just going to put these in the blender, whip them up, and then melt all this on the stove, and we'll see how it looks. For the first time in Cookie's life, he's jumped on the bin there. There's all the recycling beside him. I can't open the door to put it out because it's flea day. Anyway, he's going to have a few biscuits, or is he not? I don't know. Cookie! I think sometimes Cookie gets a bit jealous when I start paying attention to something else, like doing the baking, and he kind of gets a little bit antsy. I'm sorry about the washing machine. Okay, I'll now blend up my cereal. Hello, Cookie! You gonna help me do baking? I don't think you are. Okay, there's the crunched up cereal now. It's a shadow of its former self, but I hope it tastes good. And I'll get my saucepan and get the chocolate and peanut butter melting. So here we are. As I often say, I wish my sister and my niece were here because they're really, really good at cooking. I'm just going to try and melt up the chocolate and the peanut butter, hopefully I will be able to put my Craze cereal in and make some nice cookies. At the moment it's just looking like a big stodgy mess. However, yeah, I'll just persevere, and I will come back when I can drop in the Craze crumbs. Okay, friends, I may need to keep some of these Craze crumbs for another day. I don't know if they'll all get blended into the mixture. I don't want to sort of waste the ingredients. Oh, that looks most peculiar, that angle. Okay. Right, I will try and see how things look. I think, guys, what I've made is sort of glorified flaky cakeys. I had some of the cake scrapings from the pot, and oh my goodness, the hot chocolate and peanut butter together with the cereal was delicious. I'm going to now put these in the fridge to just chill them. They did say put them onto greaseproof paper, but maybe I should have put little paper cases in. Anyway, they're quite cute. I've got my little Easter eggies on top. And if they taste as good as the hot version that I've just tasted from the pan, they will be delicious. So I'm really pleased with my Aldi Go Bag because now I've made these little no-bake cookies, and I will have some later with a cup of tea and talk to you. Cookie, what are you doing, darling? You're going to disturb Aphrodite's shelf? That's if you know, you know. So here they are. I've got to leave them for an hour and a half, and then I'll see how they look, but they tasted good. Well, that brings us to lunchtime. I can't believe those are just flaky cakeys. I feel so silly, really. Mind you, maybe because it was chocolate cereal, they'll be nicer than like cornflake flaky cakeys are. I don't know. You know how I just showed you last night I had the sugar snap peas and the onion soup, but I hadn't blended it up. Well, I have blended it up now, and the colour is a bit murky looking, but I mean, I tasted a spoonful and it seems really nice. So again, by getting that Aldi Go bag, I got the chocolate cereal, I've got the sugar snap peas, which went with all the onions I had. So I would say another thing about to-go bags is, in addition to being very cheap, that they force you to think of new things to make. I think my soup's heating up, so I'll ladle it up and just show you how it looks. And then I'm going to have some soup, and then I'll maybe see if it's time to paint another coat on the door. And then a little later on we'll sit down and have a cup of tea and one of the little Easter nesty things I've made, flaky cakeys, and have a little talk. Okay, right, I'm going to pour out my soup now because I am quite hungry. So I've got a little bit more Easter themed table linen out. I got that napkin last year at the Cannes Film Festival. Oh, that was such a nice time. Here you can see the soup is quite murky looking. I don't have a cow creamer, but I do have a donkey creamer. So I'm just going to try to... Oh, look, it's not really... You know, I can't do an elegant sort of... It's a little bit later. As usual, I ran out of space on my phone to just finish saying that I couldn't make the swirly cream pattern on my soup, but it was still delicious and very nice. So yeah, there we go. Hello again. I keep saying that today. It is now precisely 4 hours later, so it is time for me to do another coat on my door, which I'm very pleased about. Yeah, I think that's been a big change. I would say one wonderful thing about doing YouTube videos is because you do a weekly video, you have to have some things to talk about. And I've been meaning to paint that door for ages, but today I just did it because I really needed to do something for my video. And every week I find there's some task I get done because I need to have some content, and I intended to do this and now I've done it. So anyway, I will now do another coat on this door, and when I'm finished I'll let you see how it looks. I don't know if it will be time yet for a cup of tea, but hopefully soon. Well, I've now done another coat on the door. I'll just show you in close up. It might possibly need one more coat, but it's much better. It's much less kind of shadowy looking, so I'll turn around the camera and just show you how it looks. But I'm pleased. Gosh, it's very hard to see actually. Maybe I'd be better to wait till this evening. Maybe I'll stand back. Oh, it still just looks really dark, but to me that's a more harmonious colour than the grey. I think to me it suits the door better. And I also thought when I was doing it that this lilac colour, this pastel colour of lilac is very 80s. You know, I'm a child of the 80s, and I wonder if that's partly kind of what I'm kind of going for. So basically in another 4 hours I might do a final coat here. I've got plenty of this lilac paint left though to do the other side of the door, but I won't inflict that on you. But just today this side of the door is enough, and that's great. Guys, this is my last cardboard box from my move. I had opened this box a while ago, but today I actually emptied it and put the stuff that was in it into different places and sorted it out. So I thought Cookie might like to lie down in here, but he so far has not. He loves cardboard boxes, but I just feel this is symbolical. It's my last box which I've emptied, so just saying that. Well, friends, it is time now for that promised cup of tea. I'm really quite tired now, although it's been a good day. I brought out a kind of more summer teapot. I'm going to put away, I think, my autumn teapot till September. This is a Wedgwood teapot that I once got in a charity shop, but it's really nice. But it's more summery and more springy. And then this tea set I got in well, not a charity shop, it was a kind of junk shop. on my way up to Muswell Hill one day when I used to live in North London, and I just thought it seemed a bit nice and springy. And here are some of the lovely flaky cakeys that I made with my Craze cereal. They're probably a bit chilly because they've been in the fridge, so I'll just leave them a little bit longer, but they do look rather promising. Yes, here we are, and it's lovely to have a civilized cup of tea in front of my little fireplace, courtesy of Dunelm. It sometimes really irritates me the way that fireplace, it doesn't quite cover the gap. I'll try and pull it a little bit more over to this side. Yes, it's a bit annoying. I think perhaps if I can afford it next winter, I'm going to put this maybe in a bedroom and get the slightly bigger model to put in front of that gap. But still, it's been wonderful, and I'm not dissing it. So this week, what was I going to say? Yes, I was coming home from town, and I passed this house where they were clearly doing a sort of clear out of like an old person had passed away, and I went past and they had boxes of like old videos and books and things, and a man came up to me and he said, this was my mum's house. Every day I'm putting out some more of her stuff, and it's free, you're welcome to take something. And I found this really cute little book. It's called Happiness is a Habit by Gordon Powell. It's so beautifully retro, and he talks about how different things that Jesus said, if you practice them in your own life in a practical way, they can help you be a happy person. I've only read the first chapter, which is about not publicizing your good deeds. If you give money, if you do things for charity, you shouldn't make a big public song and dance about it, but do it privately, and then God knows you've done it, and that will make you a happier person. And it's more a sort of, I suppose, just more right, more less of your ego getting involved. However, it's a very sweet book. Happiness is a Habit. I just think that's adorable. No one would write this book nowadays. So this was free, and whoever that lady was, I thank you. I must say that I think in the next week or so I might pop back outside that house again some days just to see if there were any more things to have. And then also this week I found, and this was kind of a bit weird, I was going up the stairs and I found this little plastic green snake, which definitely was not there before. So I like Halloween, and maybe this Halloween snake was something that was in amongst my Halloween stuff, but I had not seen it before. I mean, it just appeared out of nowhere, and I do feel like these things kind of mean something. I actually like snakes. I think they're a miracle of engineering, and they're very clever and rather beautiful. They are very persecuted creatures, I think partly because, I mean, they scare people. If they suddenly slither up, that give people a fright. And obviously some snakes are very poisonous, though in this country it's only adders that are poisonous. And people also think that because a snake tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden, that people also regard snakes as kind of evil. But I think they are the most persecuted creatures in the world. So I personally, as I've said, I like snakes. I think they're wonderful. I like all animals that are a bit wily, a bit naughty. What does that say about me? But I also wondered if the snake appearing on my stairs is a kind of sign to me, be careful. Someone is kind of sort of having a go at you. There's maybe you're in some sort of, someone's trying to interfere in your life in a way. I don't know. I am going to think of everything as positive, and I feel like if this is true, I'm now prepared and I've got my senses open and my ears open. So if someone is trying to give me problems, I'm going to be warned about it. And I'll also keep reading this book, Happiness is a Habit, and hopefully it will reinforce some things that will help. It's funny when people are kind of creepy and, nasty, when they have it in for you and you honestly don't see why. Sometimes it is so hard to feel tolerant of people like that. They are hard work. However, that's life. So my little snake, I love you. If someone's got it in for me, I'm going to try and love them and get through it. I'm going to have a sip of tea. I was needing this. I love this tea set. I love proper china. It's so lovely. I will maybe try a little bit of one of my little Craze cereal bites. You can't eat this discreetly. It's very noisy. But delicious. If I get another Aldi Go bag and they give me more chocolate cereal, I think I'll make more cookies and just put them in the box, because I feel it's a little bit better to make sweet things than to just go and buy them in the shop, because I think a lot of biscuits are full of palm oil and stuff like that too. I did put out a few of my eggs and stuff. Yeah. The table looks nice. It's very nice to feel civilized. I think that's probably all I've got to share with you this week. And I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and I hope you have a lovely week. And if you start preparing for Easter, you can suggest anything I can do to prepare for Easter. Please tell me, or really anything. And I will see you on my next vlog next week. Okay, bye.